And this is the world's first transformable AI-powered mini microphone, the Boya Magic. And it's not just one microphone, it's four. It's a clip-on, a handheld, a desktop camera mounted, and a top camera mounted, all packed into something that's the size of a marker. Now let's see how this thing holds up against other heavyweights in its class. And mind you, I'm actually recording on one of the microphones right now. And we're starting with the clip-on wireless lav mode of the Boya Magic. And the transmitter just weighs 7 grams, and it's easy to clip on your shirt. And yes, it is AI powered. It has real-time noise cancellation up to -40 dB, and it's all controllable within the Boya app. Now let's go ahead and do an audio test of this thing versus the DJI Mic 2. And yes, you have been hearing me this entire time on the Boya, but let's go ahead and switch over to the DJI Mic 2 and see what that sounds like. Test 1, 2, 3, 4. This is what the DJI Mic 2 sounds like. And now we're going to switch back to the Boya and turn on some AI magic and do a nice EQ with the Boya Magic microphone. And now we're going to switch back over to the DJI and apply that same AI EQ and see what this sounds like. Now, of course, you're going to have a bigger size difference. The DJI Mic 2 is definitely a little bit bulkier. The Boya is definitely really small. It's even smaller than the DJI Mic Mini. I just love the DJI Mic 2 though, especially because it has external lav support. It fits onto the Sony Hotshoe, but where the Magic wins is on size and portability and of course versatility. But now let's pop this thing into handheld mode, into the grip with no wires, no mess, and just press recording and go. And we are back with the DJI Mic 2 here inside the custom 3D printed handle, and we have the Boya. As you can clearly tell, there is a size difference between these two microphones. One is like the size of a marker, a little pencil-looking handheld mic, and this one definitely looks like a handheld mic, but it is for sure bigger and bulkier. But let's see how they do with plosives. Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled peppers and he puts pineapple on his pizza. Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled peppers and puts pineapple on his pizza. So there's definitely a distinct size difference, and this DJI Mic 2 is definitely heavier, and it's just one more accessory that you have to add to the kit, where the Boya, it includes everything and it's kind of more of like an all-in-one solution. The handle on the DJI feels great, but it's definitely bulkier than the Boya Magic, and the Boya feels definitely a little bit tinier. I would have liked a little bit more handle on the bottom if I'm using it specifically as a handle, but the versatility is there. It's sleek. It's also wireless. Not to mention, this thing can go either into your camera like it is now, or it has a USB-C or a lightning port that goes right into your phone and wirelessly sends signal to your phone or other device. You can even use it in your action camera, which is really cool. I just think the versatility on this microphone is definitely cool, and still it has AI noise cancellation. It's perfect for run and gun and street interviews, and I think you'll be reaching for this quite a bit if you did have this. It's just really versatile, man. But you throw one system in your bag and you're good to go. Because now you've heard the difference between both the DJI Mic 2 and handheld and the Boya. But how does it sound plugged into a computer and USB? Let's check it out. Podcast mode is engaged, and typically you would use the desktop mount that is included in the kit. However, today I am using a little boom arm for easy comparison. And if you're going to be setting this up on a stand for typical desktop use regularly, you might want to consider investing into one of these, but it's not needed because it does include like a little desktop stand. You can easily just slap it on your desk, put it in front of you, and record. This thing is just hooked up through USB, the little dongle that comes with it, going right into my computer. This is what that sounds like with no EQ. Now, I'm switching over to the PodMic, and as you can see here, it's definitely a little bit clunkier. It's definitely a little bit bigger. It does look like an official podcast mic, but this is kind of what you get. You've got to go into an interface. You got to use an XLR cable. You got to buy a bunch of other stuff, where the Boya includes just the little USB dongle. You plug right into the side of your computer and boom. But how does the audio quality sound like coming from the Boya and going into this thing? Now, there is audio processing I'm using right now in my interface, which is the Rodecaster Duo. Let's switch back to the Boya and run some AI testing and then do another side-by-side comparison and see what the real big difference is. And now we're back on the Boya. So we're gonna do this with some AI auto processing, which if you haven't seen that video on my channel yet, you can, I linked it down below and you can click it up here. But it's a great little way to get good audio quality at any video, but especially for podcasts, because that's kind of what it was designed for. But this is what that sounds like. Now let's switch back to the Rode and do a quick A/B comparison of that. I'm back on the Rode, and you can kind of hear what that audio processing sounds like, how much of a difference. Now I'm going to say, editing Paul here, I got to hear the footage from the previous microphone recordings, and I'm kind of blown away by how good the Boya actually sounded versus the DJI, especially once you did some audio processing to it. They're pretty much indistinguishable. And I'm really excited about the next part of the video, where I'm going to be using this in a more studio controlled environment versus the Rode NTG video mic. And now we're back in the studio here with the Boya on a shotgun just boomed right out of the frame. You put this on top of your camera, but I want to do this in a controlled environment because when you're outdoors, you're probably going to use a lav. You can also, I did the handheld. I just thought this would be a better example of using this in a different scenario than you typically would find. Boomed out of the shot, which just shows another way to do this. Now let's switch over to the Rode NTG video mic and see what that bad boy sounds like. The Rode is definitely more directional, but it has a longer form factor. And the Rode has great directionality, but it's long. It's battery dependent. The Boya, it just snaps right in and you go. It has wireless, no cables. I wouldn't replace the Rode for film work, but for more compact travel setups, the Boya is definitely wild. You can control the Boya Central app, the EQ settings, the gain levels, the recording safety track, the limiter, all of it is inside the app. There's a lot of cool features and the AI stuff you can turn on and off. The charging case is the size of a highlighter. 2 transmitters live inside of the one big charging module, which can also be used obviously as a shotgun mic. No stress, no wires. It's just giving you the gear Tetris perfection, And like I said, one mic, 4 forms. Clip-on, handheld, desktop, on camera, all in something this small. Boya magic isn't replacing your Rode or DJI setups. It's changing how often you reach for them, because this thing in your pouch is a whole mic kit, already packed and ready to go for every recording scenario. But it is really good for those filmmakers who are starting out and might not have anything to start with. This might be a good thing to at least learn how to use your microphone in all these different scenarios, and then as you feel the need to, if you would at all do, you can upgrade little parts of the kit that you don't want to use the Boya for exclusively. But if you've made it this far, there'll be links down in the description of the video that support this channel, so like, subscribe, do all the fun YouTube-y things, and you guys know that I will see you in the future.